Hi Imran, welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you.
How do you feel being in Melbourne and what kind of experience have you had shooting here?
Well, it's been great. Apart from my shoot, this has been my first visit to Melbourne. I haven't been to Australia before, and yeah, we've just been fascinated by the city from pictures and seeing movies that have been shot here before, and it was really great to have a film that kind of integrated the culture, the Australian culture, and also the Indian culture, and have a film where we could kind of explore places in Melbourne and shoot in key locations. So yeah, it's been a great trip here. We've shot for a schedule which was obviously a very integral part of the film. Visually, we had to show the key spots here, and some great locations and great people to work with. Extremely, I think, cinema literate, and also knowing exactly what we wanted and getting the work done, and an extremely smooth schedule. So yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the film and the role that you're playing.
Well, the role that I'm playing is of a guy called Jay. He's someone who he's a kind of wild child, a crazy guy who lives in Mumbai, and he has been sent. He actually wants to come to Melbourne because he doesn't want to live in India anymore. The reason why people migrate out of their country, and it's been happening for so many decades now. People want to go to the States, to Europe, to Australia, and go here to come and get his permanent residency and make a life, over here and away from this country. And how he comes here, how he kind of meets people here, the kind of cross-cultural, the way people blend in, the friction that's caused when two cultures come together. So these are the issues that this film addresses, and in a way, not to get too preachy about it, to have a commercial Bollywood film, and for it to be entertaining, and of course have a message at the end of the film. So that's what we wanted to do with this film.
Recently, you had an unfortunate accident during the shoot. What exactly happened?
Well, it was pretty bizarre. We were shooting. I've done a lot of shots of kind of camera rig shots where the camera is mounted on a vehicle in the front, and we're giving a car shot. We're driving a car, but this was somewhat unusual. We didn't expect the camera to just pop off from the hinge and fall to the ground. I think that's exactly what happened. Even though everyone had taken necessary safety precautions, sometimes these things happen. When you're shooting an action scene, when you're shooting a scene where you're driving, and these things kind of happen, and it was unprecedented, and it just happened, and I had no time to swerve because I was like 10 feet behind the camera vehicle. I had to the camera fell to the ground, smashed in two pieces, and then I had to go over it, and I was driving at around 90, so my car kind of lifted off the ground, almost 2 feet off the ground. So it's pretty scary. But again, the authorities here, and thankfully they have their own safety measures, which came in handy. If we had actually shot the scene on a freeway where there were a lot of cars by our side, it would have been a major mishap. So it's, I guess, thanks to the safety precautions people here.
What are your criteria for choosing films?
Well, the film should excite me. I think it should be extremely interesting for me on a script stage. I think that's the only yardstick. You really feel that if this is a film which you would want to go and see in a cinema hall, you can't really think for the entire audience out there. I mean, if you enjoy being part of this film and you really, really want to be part of the film, it's your sensibility, and hopefully you hope that a lot of people out there will kind of follow suit and also enjoy this experience that you've had making the film. Then I think that's the only yardstick for an actor, for a director, for any creative person. You have to be ultimately excited. There's a particular instinct that you kind of have to hear, and that's what I do when I hear a script. It has to be entertaining. It has to be something that I can look back and say that this was fun to make. So yeah.
Bhat Camp is known for its melodious music. As an actor, do you involve yourself in the selection of music?
Well, not always. Sometimes when music directors come to our workplace and they make us hear songs, I think it's a cumulative decision for a lot of people. But of course, key people being the director, Mr. Mukesh Bhatt, Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, they choose the music in the film. And of course, credit goes to the music director who have the vision. Especially in this film, I mean Pritham. This is my 4th or 5th film with Pritham, and he just knows what the audience likes. So ultimately, leaving it to the music director and his vision of catering to that audience and bringing out this great sound and a new sound. I think that's essentially what we always try to do, to bring out a new sound, bring in new singers that can add something. So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your film Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. You're playing the role of Dawood Ibrahim. How did you go about it?
Well, we never said that. I think the media is making too much about that, about who the film's about. But as far as I can say about the film, it's about a film, it's about a time, it's about an era in Mumbai. The late 60s, the early 70s. Something obviously I missed out on. But we had heard stories from my dad, from, when smuggling used to happen in Mumbai. And people used to have stories of, the boats and the coming in, gold being brought into the shores of Mumbai. And this one man who ruled at that time, a character played by Ajay, his name is Sultan Mirza in the film, and how he's challenged by his protege, a guy who joins the gang, my character whose name is Shoaib, and how he his line of he respects Sultan, but he also has his own thought process and ultimately takes over the empire. Yeah.
What are your other current and forthcoming projects?
Well, there are a couple. I mean, with Vishesh Films at the moment, there's I actually, as much as possible, try to work on one film at a time. So right now, I think it's only Crook, and just waiting to get a hold of the entire footage together, edit it, see it on screen, and ultimately go and market the film. Because it's such a great subject. I think very rarely does an actor get a subject which kind of integrates a cause like this. Things that have been probably people have misread into things of racial issues, and kind of sort that out and give a nice commercial film to the audience with a message. So I think Crook is on our mind right now to kind of make it a big film, nice film, something that people will remember.
Thanks so much, Emraan, for your time. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you.